So the Cowboys play the Washington Commanders tomorrow, or at least that's when I'm expecting this video to come out. But right now, we're not exactly sure where they're going to be in the draft this year. It depends on if they beat the Washington Commanders, what other teams win or lose on Sunday. But for right now, the Cowboys are at number 13. I've seen stuff that says they can be as high as 11. Other people are saying they could be as low as number 17. But right now, they're at number 13. So we're going to do a really short, quick 3-round mock draft with no trades. It's just going to be straightforward, and I'm going to be doing it with NFL mock draft database. Wow. So let's go ahead and get into the video. So when we get to the Cowboys pick at number 13, some names off the board include Ted McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona, really tall, impressive athlete, someone that I fully expect to go inside the top 10 this year. Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan that I really like. Abdul Carter, the edge from Penn State, goes to Carolina because that's been mocked that way every single time. Luther Burden's gone, Will Johnson, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, all of those guys are gone. But some names still on the board include Ashton Jeanty, somebody that I just made a video about. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. He's a phenomenal player. Will Campbell, the offensive tackle from LSU, somebody that I think might move to guard in the NFL. And if that's how teams are projecting him, I expect him to go a little bit later in the first round. Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle, he's a big pass rusher that I really like. But number 13 is a little rich for me. Then you have Jalen Walker, who reminds me of Dallas Turner from last year, a kind of hybrid linebacker edge player, somebody that doesn't have a ton of bend, but has the athleticism, the explosion, and would certainly be in consideration if you wanted to go that direction in the first round. Then you have Kelvin Banks, the offensive tackle from Texas, who a lot of people have as their tackle 1. I haven't watched him completely yet, broken him down, given him a grade yet, but I doubt I'm going to have him graded higher than Ashton Jeanty. And that is who we're going to go with, Ashton Jeanty. I just made a video about him talking about how great of a runner this guy is. The college football playoffs do not scare me in the slightest bit. He had 17 forced missed tackles in that game. That was not his fault. Just go back and watch it. Watch how many times he made guys miss. His offensive line didn't do him any favors, and it doesn't scare me in the slightest bit taking him at number 13. And I don't think scouts are going to care either. So we move on to number 44. A couple guys off the board, Deon Walker, the Kentucky defensive tackle. And with Walker, the frame is definitely interesting. I don't love the pad level that he plays with. He's a taller guy. I think there's some needed refinement there. The consistency play after play. Sometimes he gets pushed off the ball a little bit more than you'd like, but the intangibles, the strength, the size, some of the flashes that he does have certainly put him in consideration as a second round pick. And he kind of fits into the Cowboys' MO of betting on upside, betting on athleticism, and bringing a guy in and saying, I can coach him up. Then at number 42, so 2 picks before the Cowboys, Emeka Egbuka. I know it's a mock draft. I know that these things are all over the place. But if this were real life, I would have given up every other pick to get Emeka Egbuka at number 42. He would just pair so well with CeeDee Lamb. He gives you a guy that can play inside, outside. He can get open no matter what, understands zone coverage, can beat one-on-one man coverage. It's what Dak needs. It's what he succeeds with in wide receivers. I would have traded everything for Egbuka. Then the quarterbacks start going. Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe. Honestly, best case scenario, the quarterbacks go. That allows better players to fall down the board. And then you have names available like Jahdae Barron, the cornerback from Texas, Cameron Williams, the other Texas tackle, Nick Amenwari, the South Carolina safety. It's a good tackler, a good box player. Did some good things in coverage as well this year. Josiah Stewart, the edge from Michigan. LT Overton, the edge from Alabama. And I honestly thought about defensive line here, but there weren't really any interior players that I loved on the defensive line. Like I said, Deon Walker would be in consideration for that pick, but with him being off the board, with the questions surrounding Trayvon Diggs and his knee injury, the questions about Jordan Lewis, if he'll be back in 2025, I decided to go with Jahdae Barron. Someone that the Cowboys are certainly familiar with already. He plays in Texas. I'm sure they'll have him in the building for visits when they do their stuff with local prospects. For the Cowboys, I think the cornerback room is a sneaky need. You got to be able to cover in today's NFL. You got to get run support from your corners. The duo of Bland, Barron, and then hopefully Lewis in the slot would do wonders for this defense. And if you're a Texas fan, I'm sure you already love this guy, which means you're going to love this next pick as well. If you're like me and you've been down and out on the Cowboys season, I have the perfect way to elevate your game day experience, and that is with BetUS, the ultimate destination for all of your sports betting needs. Whether you're betting on the next few Cowboys games, the playoffs, or NFL futures, BetUS has you covered with the best odds, fast payouts, and an easy-to-use website that features a host of other things, one of my favorites being the props builder. With so much to offer, you just have to check it out. Are you done with the NFL season? That's fine. BetUS has baseball, basketball, hockey, golf, tennis, and one of my personal favorites, martial arts. So don't wait any longer to sign up. When you do sign up and create your BetUS account, you'll get a 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then a 125% bonus on your next two. That's money that BetUS is giving you so that you can start making your picks today. Make your next game day even more exciting. So we get to pick number 78. A couple of names off the board. A lot of guys that I would have loved to draft in the third round. Quinshon Judkins, the Ohio State running back. Jalen Royals, the Utah wide receiver. Torrey Horton, Colorado State wide receiver. Tez Johnson, Oregon wide receiver. And Travion Henderson, Ohio State running back. Now, I know you drafted Genty, although I wouldn't take a running back in the third round. Okay, guys, I'm not completely crazy. Him and Quinshon Judkins would be absolutely insane. But like I said, I'm not insane. At number 78, we select Alfred Collins, the defensive tackle from Texas. Yes, another Texas guy. I mean, that defense has played good this year, right? Now, I think that Collins could easily go in the second round this year. Like I said, a lot of stuff hasn't been, ironed out with these mock drafts, a lot of these consensus boards. So if he is there in the third round, it feels like a steal. Early in the process, that's a steal. He's 6'5", 320. He's a plus run defender, has pass rushing upside, and while it isn't completely there, it's not quite consistent, he definitely flashes the tools, the get off, the strength, the hand placement, technique. It's there. It's just not there on a super consistent basis. What I love is the run stuff. He's great. He's phenomenal against the run. You want to get better in the trenches? Alfred Collins can do that. So I thought a defensive tackle help that defensive interior that we have been complaining about for years now. So you miss out on Mason Graham, you miss out on a couple defensive interior guys. You end up getting a really good prospect in the third round. That rounds out the draft. You have Ashton Genty in round 1, Jahdae Barron in round 2, and Alfred Collins in round 3. I don't love that I didn't get a receiver in this one because the offense desperately needed it. I feel like I went BPA, especially with Ashton Genty, especially with Jahdae Barron. I think this addresses a lot of needs, but you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Give it a grade, and let me know who you would have selected if this were your mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.